Hey, peace, power, and profit. It's us again. We are back, 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 back. All right, guys. I'm on my my laptop this time, Chris. You can replay that video. Come on and get on. While I'm waiting for Chris, I'm gonna search for those of you who has a Sam's number. Make sure that you have renewed your SAMS.gov. Okay. Make sure you have your unique IDs. All right. If you want to check the status to see if you're in compliance, let's see. Let's see. Oh, in order to check, let's see. It won't let you check your status without signing in. So I'm not gonna sign into mine. Not while we live. It's cool. Oh, excuse me. That's crazy. So let's start looking up some stuff. Let's see what we got here. We can go into the database, do some searches until they get on in here. I've just been oh, let's check out the scenes. Let's see what's available. Oh, this due tomorrow. Now you be due tomorrow. What type of contract is this? Okay. No contracts out there right now. Absolutely none. None, 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 none. Let's look and see if they have. Okay. Oh, already awarded. There's one that's due tomorrow. National Cemetery down in Nashville. Groundskeeping services in New York. Virginia. Bird waste cleaning. That's interesting. Let's see what that's about. I'm just gonna be nosy. Chris, make sure. Oh, hey, you should say something in here because I'm over here looking at bird waste cleaning contract.
What was I supposed to say in the background?
Hmm, New Jersey.
Can you hear me, Mo?
I guess that's all the pictures of the bird cages.
Mo.
Let's see if it opens up so I can see if it's showing a picture. Okay. Oh. Oh, so you just cleaning up this area? Hmm. That may be on to something. They trying to disguise it.
Yo,
You
Mo.
can hear me? Oh, it's on mute. My bad. I've been on mute.
You can't hear me.
I was on mute.
Oh,
I was on mute the whole time.
what the hell you
I
got
just
going on,
I
bro?
just so happened to look down.
Yeah.
No, this is how much they paying to clean this? What? That's not a bad deal now. That ain't no bad deal. Oh, that's who the person was. Shit, I knew how to build that thing. Go out there and clean some bird cages. You gonna share that video again?
I can.
Yeah, let's get it started with that. Hey, what's up, praise, peace, power, and profit, you guys?
You you want me to share it now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Give Brandon a chance to jump on.
Yeah, I tagged him, but can you see it?
Yeah, I'm about to add it to the screen.
All right.
Oh, I gotta stop sharing.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, cool.
Good morning, folks. This is your licensed financial advisor, Chris Woodford, and today's topic is going to be estate planning and trust. So let's get into this real quick. All right, so what is estate planning? Estate planning is the process of deciding who receives your assets when you die, who manages your affairs if you're incapacitated, how your children or dependents are cared for, how taxes, debts, and legal costs are handled, and how wealth is preserved across generations. Many people assume estate planning is only for millionaires, billionaires, so forth and so on, all the rich people. But anyone who owns any assets, has children, or wants control over medical and financial decisions can benefit from it. So what are the core estate planning documents? One is the last will and testament. A will determines who inherits assets, guardians for minor children, and who administers the estate, the executor. A will generally must go through probate, long process. Number two, durable power of attorney. Allow someone to handle financial matters if you become unable to do so. Three, medical power of attorney. Allow someone to make healthcare decisions on your behalf. Four, a living will that specifies end-of-life medical wishes. And number five, trust. Trust are often where estate planning becomes more sophisticated. So what is a trust? A trust is a legal arrangement where the grantor or the creator puts assets into the trust. The trustee manages the assets and the beneficiary receives benefits from the assets. Think of a trust as a rule book controlling assets before, during, and after death. Now, there's different types of trusts. So the first trust we're going to talk about is a revocable living trust. This is the most common trust that most people get. So the benefits of a revocable living trust, it avoids probate, you have privacy, easier asset management, and can be changed during your lifetime. The only limitations, usually doesn't provide asset protection for creditors, and assets remain part of your taxable estate. Two, irrevocable trust generally cannot be easily changed once created. The benefits of that is asset protection, potential estate tax reduction, creditor protection, and Medicaid planning opportunities. Trade-off, you lose control of whatever you own in the trust. Three, testamentary trust, created through a will after death, often used for minor children, spendthrift beneficiaries, and structured inheritance distributions. Then you have a special needs trust, protects eligibility for government benefits while providing financial support. And then charitable trust, used for philanthropy, tax planning, and legacy building. Examples include charitable remainder trust and charitable lead trust. All right, then you have generation skipping trust, designed to pass wealth to grandchildren or future generations. This is popular among those rich families or families focused on multi-generational wealth. That takes a mindset and mentality. Probate. So let's talk about probate. Why everyone talks about it. Probate is the court supervised process of distributing assets after death. So normally you go through probate when you own something, but you don't have any estate planning in your system. So let's just say you or a cousin die or anything like that. And let's say you owned a house, you had a Roth IRA or some type of retirement account, but you had no beneficiaries, you had no paperwork or legal documents set up to pass that down. Then this will go through probate, where you be tied up in court for a long time. And not only that, anybody that knows you can claim those assets. So let's say the family wants to come together and find out what to do with all you own or whatever. Well, the family can argue for 1,000 days on who should get what, and that can tie you up into court costs and a whole lot of time trying to decide who gets what. That's why you estate plan, so you can avoid all of that. That's what you call probate, and that can be very messy. So the potential drawbacks of probate is time consuming. So on public record, you got a lot of legal expenses and there's delays for heirs. So there are cases where, you know, you can have like a joint account, like a joint with tenants in common, right? Where your portion of the account has to go to your estate, and that goes to probate court. And, you know, it just ties right back into time consuming and legal expenses. Many trust strategies are built around reducing or avoiding probate. That's the idea. That's why you get a trust, so you can avoid all of that. All right, next we have estate taxes. This is a huge issue of misinformation when it comes to this right here, estate taxes. For most Americans, federal estate tax is not an issue because exemptions are very high. However, some states have estate taxes, some states have inheritance taxes, and larger states may face federal estate taxes. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty, what people love about estate planning and trust and things like that. Asset protection planning. I love this topic. So the common goals are protect business assets, shield family wealth, protect against lawsuits, and preserve real estate holdings. The tools often discussed is LLCs, irrevocable trust, family limited partnerships, and insurance. So important distinction, asset protection must usually happen before legal problems arise. So don't wait to protect your assets until something happens. Do it before. Be prepared. That's the idea behind this. It's preparing yourself for anything that happens, so you can be protected and you know how to handle the situation. Because one, you got it written down, you have the legal paperwork, and everybody is aware of this. That's the first thing. You got to talk to your family about this. I'll have to be on the same page for all of this to work. Next, we have business succession planning. This is critical for business owners. Questions include: who takes over? Will the business be sold? How are heirs treated? And what happens if the owner becomes disabled? Those are questions that will be asked or talked about when it comes to business succession planning. All right, let's get to the mistakes. The common mistakes people make when estate planning. Number one, having no will. 2, no trust when one may be appropriate. 3, not updating beneficiaries. 4, failing to fund a trust. 5, not planning for incapacity. 6, ignoring digital assets. 7, failing to discuss plans with family. 8, assuming spouse automatically receives everything. I'm telling you, I've talked to potential clients about these issues, and they are real world issues. That's why the first thing you need to do, you need to have a conversation. That's the first thing. Have the conversation, talk these things out. Get with an attorney or a financial planner or a financial advisor to get some information about this, because you don't want to be one of those people that run into issues and don't know what to do at the last minute. I'm telling you, this is crucial. This is crucial stuff. All right. Next, estate planning and generational wealth. Another hot topic. We love this. Estate planning isn't only about transferring money. It's about real estate, businesses, investments, life insurance, family values, and financial education. Think about that. Financial education, family values, life insurance, investments, businesses, and real estate. That's why you talk. That's why you have conversations. Now, many wealthy families focus on wealth creation, wealth preservation, and wealth transfer. That's legacy. That's legacy. That's what matters here. Legacy. All three matter. All of that matters. This is why you estate plan for that right there. Wealth creation, wealth preservation, and wealth transfer. That's asset protection. That's how you transfer your wealth when you get ready to get out the door to retire and things like that, and you pass it down to your kids. And then when your kids get ready to retire, you pass it down to the grandkids, and so forth and so on. That's how your legacy lives on. That's why family is important. If you don't see any values in family or have any family values, estate plan is just not for you. And if that's what you want, then fine. That's your prerogative. But if you want to pass down your values, your knowledge, you want to build a legacy, it starts with this. You have to give your kids the information. You have to instill those values in them. And they got to see those values as beneficial. You got to make it to where, this is like DNA. Like, it's in your DNA to be this way. It's got to go that far and that deep. Because if you look at wealthy families, it is a part of their DNA. Their kids are born. It's like they're born with this information already. So if that's what you want, if that's your goal, because, it's always a lot of conversation about generational wealth, so forth and so on. But if you don't do these, if you can't get through you can't even have the conversation to even get on the same page, then there is no generational wealth. The wealth is going to end with you, whether you get it or not. But if you make this a part of your DNA, I want to put these DNA in my significant other, and that's going to be in our kids. That's how deep it's got to be. That's how these rich or wealthy families stay wealthy, because they are principled and the knowledge keeps passing down through the generations. And everybody is on code. Once you get off code and want to be independent, want to do your own show, That's how things can get off track. But if you stay on code and you keep these values, telling you your name is going to be legend, you're going to leave a legacy. Now, if that's important to you, then you will follow these principles and know that these values are not just values for you, but values for your name, your generations, for generations. So hopefully, this helps get you started, at least having a conversation. And I'm always available if you have any questions. This is your licensed financial advisor, Chris Woodfork, and we will see you on the next one.
So, Chris, I have some questions. Make sure I minimize it just in case Brandon comes up.
Yo,
So I have some questions. So these are some questions that one would probably ask you if they were sitting in front of you, right? Um, so what do you think? Do I need a will, a trust, or both?
both.
Okay. At what point? So you saying both? Okay, cool. So, um, who? So when I'm thinking about those, who should serve as my executor of my estate?
You probably would want to get an attorney,
Mm-hmm.
or someone. That's a good question. I would say a non-biased person. So either your financial advisor or your attorney, for sure.
So who should I be thinking about should manage my trust? Same answer.
That or somebody you trust in the family.
Now you put a great presentation together, but
Mhm,
I just have to ask again.
mhm.
How could I avoid probate again?
By estate planning, getting all proper documents, writing things down, getting stuff notarized, having an attorney, having a licensed financial advisor, financial professional, um, and an attorney help you write this stuff up, what you want done, who you want to give your assets to. Uh, and this stuff can be changed uh, down the line, but you want to have the conversation first. So the minute you get married and start having kids, well, because some people start having kids first and then get married, you want to start having the conversation. Matter of fact, once you so deep off in your relationship, you need to start having that conversation. If y'all 2, 3 years in, you need to be having that conversations with your significant other. In case something does happen to either of you, you know, and most times you already have kids, you have to start planning immediately then. So I got like a checklist, right? And you can write this down, you can, come up with your own. But I think the time you have your first child, they need to have a life insurance policy. You should already, as an adult, you should have a life insurance policy for yourself. And if you have a significant other, y'all should have a life insurance policy. Um, you should have a retirement account. You should have an investment account. You should have a bank account, of course. But the time you start having kids, your planning, your estate planning starts then. Well, really before that. But adding your kids, that is now your legacy. The time you have your first child, your legacy begins then. Immediately, you should start planning for that. From the time your child is conceived, legacy should be birthed with that child. So you should start estate planning then, setting up stuff for your legacy. because you don't know when you're gonna die, when your significant other is gonna die, but you do know you got a child on the way, and we forbid anything happens to the child, but the time clock for your legacy starts then. That is proper planning. That is how rich people stay rich and wealthy. It's not all about, you know, having assets, so to speak. It's about the knowledge and what you do and how you plan. And if you don't plan, we already see the failures when you don't plan. So if you start treating it like that, if you start seeing value in family and legacy, then you make better decisions. And we need to start thinking like that so we can empower ourselves and become more powerful people.
That's awesome. What about should I start should assets be transferred immediately or over time?
Um, Over time, so this is what you do. This is what most of my friends do that, have family and they have kids. They open up, child savings accounts or education savings plans. So something like a 529 for your kids. You can start donating assets to a 529 as soon as they're born. So your kids want to go to college, you want to make sure they have an education and things like that. Well, what do? So it's not about just, stacking up a bunch of money and putting it in a savings account because you're really not earning that much interest. But if you put it into a state sponsored 529 plan, you can actually start putting money or different assets in that account for the benefit of your child's education. Post, well, actually, no, you can use that money for anything, basically any level of schooling. Um, and even that, that's proper planning. Even if you don't, not don't, but even if you want to, send them to a trade school or something of that rather, that money can help them. And you can do this for each child if you have multiple children. So we can stop, falling into the debt trap with student loans and, having poor people become even more poor going into the future and finding a job depending on their skill set and what they go to school for. Um, you can give your kids a head start and, stop having them go into debt, knowing that it's going to take them half their lifetime to pay the debt off for going to school anyway.
Right.
So,
how often should I look at my estate planning? Is it something that I set and going by my merry way, or
I think you should review it every year, every year, maybe every 6 months, because things happen, things change, and yeah, I think that's best. If not every 6 months, every year, for sure.
um when we think in terms of, you mentioned insurance policies.
Hmm.
When we think of insurance policies, we talking whole life term? Are we talking about enough insurance to cover your debt when you're gone? Insurance that includes living with benefits if you get if some unexpected life changes happen. What are we talking?
As far as policy, I think you get what you can afford. Um, if you're low income, start with a term. It's the cheapest option. Once you start talking about whole life and universal life, then you're talking about spending a lot more money. And if you can't afford that, I get it. Just get term. Term is fine for beginners. But once you start stacking a little paper or you're a high earner, then you can start talking about whole life and universal life, um, and going about it that way. But you get what you can afford in the beginning, which is nothing wrong with that. It's not bad. People try to make it seem bad when you get, term life insurance, and I'm just like, if you can afford that, that's great. It's better than having nothing, for sure. So, and we definitely know about that in our community. As much as people, ask for GoFundMe's and Cash Apps for people's funerals, you know, get you some term life insurance at minimum.
Right. So, do you think that? Let's see. I think I did some pretty good with some good questions. Um, what about? I don't know. I'm not sure if I heard you say. What about legacy property? Property that's been passed on, um, um, and are inherited properties from, let's say, the great grandparent, and now parent is about to transition, and I'm next on the list. Um, there's other peers that are involved. Should that inherited home or land go in a trust, or should that inherited home or land be? I'm not really sure how it all works, but should that be something managed in a trust, or should it be heirs property managed by a lawyer and all parties' names are on the list, legal documentation?
Okay, so what you're talking about is basically kind of like transfer of ownership, or passing something down, or gifting something to uh, the grandkids or the kids.
Well, family owned, the siblings have it, and then
Okay,
the
so
kid, yeah.
so there's two things with this, right? So if it's a family owned thing, and
The grandparents had it first.
they passing it down to their kids, but does the does that parental line, when you say family owned, so you talking about grandparents, parents, and grandchildren?
Correct.
Okay, so there's two things with that, right?
Hmm.
So there's something called per capita and per stirpes. And so what you got to understand, what they mean, or what the difference is. Um, per capita goes by head, or for each person. And so when you passing something down like family property, it comes down to, who benefits from that. So is it you know the grandchildren passing it down to the kids, and then the kids benefit, or is it, grandparents passing it down for everybody, their grandkids, the kids, they all benefit. And so you need to establish that, because one is by head and one is by branch. And by branch, that means everybody's benefiting. That means the grandparents, the kids, the grandkids, the great grandkids, the great great grandkids, and so forth and so on. That is per stirpes. Per capita is just going by grandparent, parent, and then it ends. And then you can create another per capita stance, or you can
Ooh,
do
wait.
perspectives.
You gotta slow down.
Okay.
This is my first time hearing this. You gotta start that all over. And go slow.
All right.
We in this situation, and then I need to start setting my stuff up, and I know I'm gonna be in this situation. I know a couple other people who um who put theirs in a trust and were asking me questions, but I have no clue what the
All right.
what's the maybe the best course of action. And I've never heard no one mention anything by per capita or anything like that before. So can we start that one more time? I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll start with per stirping this time because that deals exclusively with wills and trusts and beneficiary designations. So if you're gonna go to the wills and the trust route, you can do it by per stirpes, and that's by the branch. So that means every branch of the family. Let's put it like this. Let's say Mo, you, your brother got Zion and your niece, and then Zion have kids, and then your niece have kids, Sanaya has kids, and so forth and so on.
We
That
have
will be,
Kimmy.
huh?
So we have Kimmy, the older sister, and she already have kids.
Okay, so that's your niece.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that's called per stirpes because now we're going by branches.
Okay.
So it ain't just grandma, son, daughter, then grand
Yep.
kid. Now we're going, you
Hold on.
know,
Let me see if I can put this on the screen.
son. We're going by son, their siblings and their kids, and then the siblings' kids and your kids and their kids and their kids. It's a generational things when we're talking about per stirpes. Per stirpes deals with branch. So if you got a tree, you know that tree we made, right?
Yeah, look, I'm about to bring some slides up now so I can try to understand it.
Okay. So if you want to create a fictitious tree, let's say the tree of the lambs, right? And we got you,
Okay.
we got your brother. How many siblings you got?
One.
Okay, so you just got you and your brother. And let's make up. Let's say
side by side.
huh? You can put them side by side. Yeah, because we're gonna create our own branches from y'all.
Okay.
So you got your brother,
Okay.
and this is made up. So your brother got 3 kids.
Yep.
And let's say you got 2 kids.
So I gotta put his kids. Boy. Girl. Okay.
Okay, let's say you got boy and girl.
Okay.
All right. Now,
Well,
let's say,
so, yeah.
all right.
He got a few more.
Yeah, I was about to say, Daddy got
I forgot. Hold on. He got more than this.
4 girls.
Definitely got more than this. We don't need
Jesus,
no.
Jesus.
Wait a minute, who's boss? Is that you? Smoke?
My brother.
Oh,
I thought that was Price. What up, Brandon?
what's happening, man?
Shit. Same shit. Now you're gonna have to widen your screen, Mo, if you're gonna
I
do
know.
that because we're doing per stirpes, so we're doing branches.
I know. Hold on, I gotta make these smaller. So Zion.
Man, I hope Price on, man, because I know Price can relate to this.
I'm getting there.
Your mother got 5 girls, 4 girls.
Yeah.
Man, you okay? Gotta check up on him. Yeah, sure.
He grown now.
Still check up on him.
No. All right. Let me put them in perspective. We should be over here. Cause we gotta do tiers, right? So I gotta move me over. And I'm gonna take that off because we ain't about to mark me. But we're gonna say classroom purposes. I'm gonna say sister. Because if I mess around and get pregnant the next couple of days, I'll be mad as hell. Over here doing scenarios. Oh no, that I shot it. No. I don't know what y'all talking about. No. We go like this. It's twin number 1. Twin number 2. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. No. Twins go right here.
But she played in your
Twin. Any kind of way, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then here. And then here. I got no one like that. Who the hell am I?
Daddy.
Dang. Oh, you ain't gotta do all the damn name.
Yeah, I gotta get it right. This for me.
Oh,
I'm estate planning. This real life scenario. Let's go.
okay.
I'm talking about you ain't see. We're gonna make it classroom. We gotta do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might be watching. You might need this information. All right, boom. Okay, now we know she already have her. She got a girl and she got a boy. It's probably I could have probably used the chart thing to do this, but I had already started.
Like Google Sheets or something?
I'm on Google Sheets. No, I could have did the formatting thing.
Oh.
Now I gotta get me a line. You know how y'all used to make me do on Trading View? All right. Okay, these are hers. Now, what are we talking?
Okay, so now, all right, you see Kai.
Mm-hmm.
She got her branch. She got her 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now you take her 2 kids, and you say they have. Let's say the girl, she got 2 kids, and then the boy, he got 1 kid.
Why the girl got to have 2, and the boy got? I'm just playing.
You gonna make this a gender war too?
I don't do gender wars.
All right.
All right, and then he got one. Okay, girl. And then boy. You better not cut my hair. I know
I
that.
didn't let you. I didn't.
And then boy. Okay.
Okay.
Now
All
let's
right.
just
So
talk
you
it through
see,
right here.
okay. All right. So you see, Khan by herself got 3 descendants as
Yep.
far as grandchildren.
Yeah, right here.
She got her 2. She got her 2 kids and
Mhm.
3 grandchildren.
Uh-huh.
That is called persterpes. So
So
that
the
means,
grandkids are per sturpy.
yeah, from her kids all the way down to her grandkids. And if they got kids, and then their kids' kids, and their kids' kids, and that's called branches or persterpes. So what that means is, if I pass down a family business, then you have to split the family business between everybody. Yeah, so everybody get a little piece. So let's do it like this. Let's say, okay, your parents.
Mhm.
Let's say you and your brother, y'all get 50% of the business.
Yeah.
All right. Your grandparents got the rest, but then y'all start having kids. Now you got to split your 50%
With my
between
kids.
your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids and great grandkids.
So
That's
she
how this works.
out
That's what's called a per stirpe basis.
per sturpy.
Yes, because it's by branch.
Mhm.
So let's say you and your brother, y'all split that 50%, then y'all start having kids. Now y'all gotta split y'all percentage with your branch.
Mhm. Mm. So now your little 50% is broken out.
Yeah, it's broken down now, and it's gonna keep breaking down. The further your line keep going, and when your parents is gone, that's gonna be distributed down. It's like a pipeline.
And that's if you don't have a will.
No, that's if you have a will.
Oh, if you have a will
If
and
you don't have a will, you can't really do nothing until you get all the paperwork.
if you have a will, that's a possible option. Or if you have a will, you can dictate where you
Yes,
want it
you
to
can
go.
you don't have to do it like this. This is just an option if you want to do it this way. Or you can do it by per capita. And that can just be between you and your parents. And then when you feel like you're ready to, hand it over, then you
Mhm.
establish that with your kids, and then they do the same thing. But
Gotcha.
the only thing is, with per capita, it's not by branch. It's just a simple, okay, I'm gonna pass this down to my son, or I'm gonna pass this down to my
Oh,
nephew, or I'm gonna pass this down to my cousin, or I'm gonna pass this down to my auntie, or I'm gonna pass it down to my uncle.
gotcha.
Yeah. Per stirpes is by each family member.
Per capita person. Gotcha. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. I learned something.
So that's how this is another. I'm glad we went through this because this is what wealthy families do.
They
This
do
is why,
herpes, right?
yeah, per
That's why
stirpe.
they're mindful of who they kids end up with, or they try to have a say in
Yes.
it.
Matter of fact, the Waltons, they did a video about this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that they kids marry, their significant others don't get a piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get a piece of the Walmart business.
But the kids do.
The kids do, but not the other parents. That's not a part that don't have the Walton name. It ain't
Mm.
Walton blood. I mean,
Mm.
so they got things in place for that, prenups and all of that. They can't get none of that. That's by blood.
I like that right up though, because I have one of these in my house, but I don't want no significant coming in here taking over.
Absolutely, because you know what's for your bloodline is for for your bloodline. Whether you marry them or not, you ain't got the blood. You got my DNA in you, but you ain't got the blood. But those kids though, those kids, that's why it's something called, I spoke about in the video, called generation skipping trust. So that means whatever the grandparent donates can go to the grandchildren. But when it comes to like per stirpes, it can be only the kids and the grandkids, not the wives and the husbands of the original.
So yeah, I need to do that. I need to get that in place like yesterday.
Yes, but that's something that you write out.
Yeah.
That's what you put on paper, or you know what I'm saying.
Brandon, you were gonna ask a question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. What you said? Per stirpes?
Yes.
Okay, that's the name of it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you put this on your channel, right?
Yeah, it's on his channel. It's on mine and his.
Okay.
And so when you start having conversations
Stirpe.
like these,
Spell
huh?
Stirpe.
STIPRES. Wait, STIRPES. My bad.
RPS.
Got a little more.
You did that.
Huh?
Yeah, that was good.
So if you wonder why, you know, the Rothschilds and all of these rich banking families, you know, only let certain people date their kids, or you know.
So when people put their if a family put their heirs properties in a trust, does that the same thing applies?
Yes.
So
you put it in the trust, you know,
if you put heirs property in a trust and it has you have to pay member dues.
You have to pay what?
Member dues, or that's just something that they probably made up.
No, some families do that. That's very much real, but that's what you established, though. Yeah, some families do that. Matter of fact, I think the Waltons do that as well. And then I think, what's the brother name? Not brother, but I forgot the dude name. He got a multi-billion-dollar law firm. I forget his name. Cool white dude though. He got his set up like that.
He said cool dude.
But yeah, it can be in place like that. Yeah, you can definitely set it up that way.
Look at this. I was trying to create me a visual while you were talking and tell me if this panned out correctly.
Hey Mo, can y'all spell that one more time?
PERSTIR. STIRPES.
Getting small. Oh, I can't make it Can we get larger? Hold on. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Is this depicted correctly? Make it
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah. I didn't even put in the part about the deceased, but let's say somebody died. They part go to the other family members. Or if they got kids, it goes to the kids.
I can see this and you do a video on it and then post it.
Yeah. Matter of fact, good idea, because I was gonna do a video about this anyway.
Huh?
Did she add hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go, Brandon. I got it on the screen. So you got the per stirpes by branch and then per capita by head. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So if someone was outlining theirs out, they can really use this as a template and kind of come up with what they need to do.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so they got a branch, and I don't know if you spoke about this already, but grandmother passes down to her son, daughter, and her other son. The first son passed away, and he was given a 33% stirpe for it. He doesn't get it because he passed away.
Yeah, so it either goes to the siblings or his kids, his or her kids.
But they have to be put in either a will or a trust to receive that.
Yeah, and it has to be split, whatever that amount is.
Okay.
So if it's 33%, then they get maybe a third. They split it however they split it.
Well,
So
50. Okay.
that goes back to documents. So what if the kids is not in the will? So then that's where they would come with their parent, with their birth certificates and their parents, their certificate and birth certificate to prove that they were part of that.
Well, if the kids ain't in the will at that point, that would be crazy as hell, for one.
No, I'm saying, but it happens though. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, you still do the order of business, but you still, you get the death certificate and so forth and so on. You do all of that, but
so let's go back to
somebody dies, and then you put their kids in the will. That's kind of backwards. I don't think why that would happen.
Hey, Mo, can you put this in the back chat? This picture.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did, Brandon.
Okay.
But wait, though, Chris. Because what if? So, if the grandparent has the child, and that the grandparent has had their will already constructed, and then the child has kids, but that will was never redone.
Redone?
Yes. So the kid would not be in there, but the parent was in there.
But the who?
The parent.
Yeah.
So, because we had that situation, because I got uncles or aunts that has passed on. I got two cousins who refused to give their Social Security numbers when they were doing my grandma stuff, and their mom has already passed on, and their siblings is in it, but they're not. But they can still contest because that's their children, right?
Yeah, they can contest it, but that's gonna take time and resources.
Right.
I mean,
now,
it sucks. It sucks to be on that end of it.
Let's say that the parent has two siblings. Yeah, the parent passed. They have the siblings. The parent had a will, has the siblings in the will, and those siblings have kids, but they're not listed in their will. Are the parents obligated to share anything with those kids?
No.
Okay. Okay, now let's say the parent had a will, the kids are in the will, the parent passed on, one sibling, okay, and there, okay, let's say the parent had a will, parent did not have a will, and the parent remarried, and no assets were identified to go to the new husband or kids. Who has the right to the assets?
But you just said they don't have no assets.
No, I'm saying the parent. Let's say the mother.
Yeah, be specific, cause yeah.
Okay, let's say the mother was married, had two kids. The father transitioned.
The father transitioned. Okay.
No will, no will.
No will. So yeah.
So the mother created a will. No, I'm sorry. There is no will. The mother remarries.
Okay.
Then the mother transitions. Who has the right to the estate?
To what? Who estate?
Does it the children or is it the husband?
To the mother?
Yes.
What estate does she have? What does she have?
Oh, on the home. And yeah.
Her own home, but she has no will?
No will.
Nobody.
Wouldn't it just go to probate in that case?
Yeah, they can go to probate court, but and they can contest. The kids can contest. The husband could contest. The uncle could contest. The cousin could contest. The auntie, the grandma, anybody could contest.
But isn't that what happened with Aretha Franklin and Bozeman?
I don't remember the kids.
Bozeman didn't have a will. Yeah, he didn't have a will of trust, and a lot of his assets went to probate. Yeah. And I think Aretha Franklin did the same thing, or she had a will, but not a trust.
When you don't have anything, anybody can contest that. You deserve whatever that person had. A stranger can come up and be like, "Oh yeah, I knew her for 10 years," and you just throw her with a damn death certificate, and you can get her shit. Mm-hmm. Anybody can contest it. Just because you the kid, don't mean you automatically get it. You have to do go through the proper channels. You have to get the death certificate, get her paperwork, her social, get your social. You got to provide all of that stuff. When it comes to probate court, when you have no legal documents or anything, you don't have a will, you don't have a trust, anybody can go to the court and contest that. Okay, you should get it.
Gotcha.
Now you would think the kids would do that out the gate, and the husband,
right? So my aunt passed. She did not have a will, but she had money in the bank. Her daughter, even though they didn't speak, her daughter was on the account, and
that's a separate.
I don't think she had a life insurance policy.
Yeah,
but I guess somewhere along the line she said that she wanted her grandkids to have whatever assets she had. However, there was no paperwork in play, and the only person that had heard if it had been spoken was the two kids that drove all the way up that day of the funeral to demand what's theirs. Well, their names on it.
There was no will. I don't give a damn
what exactly.
I don't give a damn what she said once she was alive. Or hell, she can say whatever she did, but if it ain't
in writing.
It ain't in writing, and it's not been filed the proper way and procedure.
Get my stuff in writing then.
Yeah,
I
it don't.
got to
Don't
redo
matter.
my will because I didn't have little people's when I did the first one. My insurance policies have people on them, but since I've accumulated a house,
Hey, who is that?
I got my niece and nephew.
Hey, can I? Yeah.
I
So
don't.
let's make this. Just make this really clear. It doesn't matter what you say. I don't give a damn if you said, "Hey, my grandson get everything I got," and that's final. If it ain't on paper and it ain't been filed, it don't even matter.
Right. That's
Nobody
what I'm
cares.
saying.
So I got no question. Let's say hypothetically, here's another scenario. Husband, wife gets married. They both, well, no, the husband does a will.
Mhm.
He passes the kids down per stirpies a piece, right? But for some reason, the child becomes of age and then creates a will for his sister and his mother, and he passes on. Is he allowed to get that? Or is the mother allowed to get a percentage of her stirpies?
Ooh.
Wait.
I know.
Put that over,
Hold
Brandon.
on.
Okay, so I'm thinking like differently now. So it's husband and wife,
Yeah.
married. The husband fills out the will and
For his
everything.
kid.
Yes,
And he does per stirpies.
and he does per stirpies. He
Okay.
passes it down to his kids. Right. The
Yeah.
kids become of age.
Uh-huh.
Right. Let's say one of the kids have like a terminal illness, and they decide to have a will or trust in themselves on themselves, and let's say it's the boy in this instance who gives his mom's the Persterpes that was given it to his father.
He can't do that.
He can't go back.
No, he can't give his moms the Persterpes. The Persterpes will be split among the siblings and whatever children that exist. If there is no children, then it will be between the siblings.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
Persterpes doesn't go back up.
Okay.
It either goes to the siblings or it goes to the children or grandchildren, great grandchildren. It goes like that. It doesn't go
Okay.
back.
Okay. It doesn't go back. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that it's okay. So you're saying that in that case, because it was a prior commitment, the new heir can't go redo it.
Right.
Yeah, you can go back and redo somebody else's demands in a will.
If you create a will, you can go back and redo it.
Not you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like, so now you can't, if I left my stuff to her, she can't do her will and then take what I left to her and designate it.
Right. No, yeah, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
Like even if like you pass,
wait,
you can't. Dang, you ain't gonna let me finish, are you? Let me lay this out. Let me lay this out. Husband, wife have 3 kids. They create a will and they decide to do Persterpes for that whole branch of family, their bloodline. They have 3 kids. One of their kids dies. That kid's part of the will can't go back up to the parents. It has to go to the siblings or to their children. That's it. And let's say the siblings have kids, then you split that. That's Persterpes. It's by branch. Once you start the trunk of the tree.
I got it.
And you start rooting out and going up. That's Persterpes. It can't go back down. It has to go up.
So,
or vice versa. So if Anna passed away, that 100,000 that she get, or that has to go to Brian and Carla.
So what if
Brian and Carla got kids, a little of that from Anna goes to their kids.
That's right. You saying that they do. Okay, so if they do per stirpy, is that's dollars we talking, right?
Zion.
What do you mean that's dollars?
I mean, so
Yeah,
if
if
real
it's
estate,
money, if
right?
you're a part of the business, yes. If it's money, yes.
But
That it's a
does that
certain
apply?
amount that goes
Does that
to
apply? Does that apply to real estate, or would they have to sell it and it
yeah. So
becomes?
you will have to value what the business or whatever the property is worth,
Gotcha. Okay, I got
and then
you.
you split it. Let's say right here, right? You got 3 kids, and you split the other 50% between the 3.
I see. I got you.
So 33 point, all of that.
Is this is, and I think Mo just answered this, but this is not. This is more than liquid, right?
Huh?
This is more liquid, like their net worth all together, or just what they have, or is this just like insurance?
It's liquid. So let's say if you own, let's say you got a family owned business, the business is worth 2.5 billion. And let's say your shares, the amount that you have in shares or value is, let's say 50 million. And you got 2 kids. Well, you got to split that 50 million to your 2 kids. So you probably get 30%. The 2 kids get 30%, 33%, something like that, to make it equal all out. Because essentially what's happening is once you start having kids, your percentage drops. And once then you pass that down to your kids, and your kids pass down their kids, and that kids, it just keeps spreading. It just keeps spreading. But guess what? It's all staying in the family though.
Gotcha.
Because what happens over time with a business or a piece of real estate property?
Only values.
You expect it to go up in value, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you think you lose in percentage, but
you actually gain.
you really not. If the value keeps going up, you really increasing your money, all the while spreading the wealth.
Yeah, like
you're not gonna be here forever anyway.
Right.
So
like my property value is doubled right now. So I think my house right 2.
So if you had a per stirpes commitment, your percentage would go down as a parent, but then you become a grandparent, and then you out the door. Then your kids become grandparents, and then so forth and so on. Is you really recycling the money down, recycling the money down, recycling the money down.
But the thing about this is the money does eventually dries up if this process is not repeated again.
If it's not repeated again, but smart families don't make those mistakes. You may have a fuck up in there somewhere. You may have one kid that just don't want to he don't want to commit to none of it. He don't give a shit. He take his money and run, or whatever the case is. But one monkey don't stop no show.
Right.
I added here you go, Chris. I added a real estate and investment.
Yeah, like a family limited partnership. So yeah, that's perfect. And so even with real estate or a business, you just have shares in the company, or you got value in the house, and you cash out whenever. If you want to do that, that's your choice. Or you say, hey, I don't want to own this property anymore, just cash me out. One monkey don't stop no show. That don't hurt the family business because one person wants out. Hell, it don't stop the show if 2 people want out. Because guess what? You got kids, you got grandkids, that all got interest in the property. And if the property gains value, you really never lose it. It's just recycling. You just recycling it down to the next generation or the next family member. So you never really lose. So now somebody may get a bigger portion because they want to sell, but and that person may not have no kids, so it's really no loss to you. It sucks that they don't want to be a part of it, but however, that's their choice. But it don't stop the show. The family still gonna live on. It's still the system still gonna run.
And this is allocated after your death,
Allocated like
the percentage is given out.
money.
Yeah. Like this is given out after you die, or is this
It can be given out while you're alive.
okay?
Let's say you do own shares in a company. I'm pretty sure you'll receive a dividend check every quarter, every 3 quarters or whatever, or something. You'll still get paid from it, all while doing nothing. This is just being a part of the family business. Or you can just say, hey, I just want to sell my shares and take the money. Your choice. You have that right.
Man, this is good information.
So, but to actually implement this, you have to have family. You gotta want to have a family, and you gotta have somebody, a significant other that understands that vision and wants to do this. You can't take niggas and do this.
Hell no.
I'm just keeping it a buck. Now, if we can explain it to some of our family to help them see the bigger picture, and they be like, man, this is so dope, I'm in. Then that's when you run with it. Cause I'm telling y'all, man, just to keep it a buck, we don't need everybody in Black America to do this. 3% and leave everybody else where they at. We don't care about everybody. We only care about people who want to do the work, who want to create an ecosystem like this. So, we have a standing. We don't care about individuals who want to, just do their own thing and don't want to get on code. You just do this with, people in your family that want to do this. That's why when I was talking about, arranged marriages and making sure, if I had kids and I put my kids with good people with the same thought process, I remember Price, he was like, oh, hell no, I don't know about that. I'm just like, okay, well, shit, I ain't telling you to do it, but I'm not finna have if I have kids, my kids ain't marrying niggas and they gonna be productive. We talking about establishing dynasties, legacies, empires. You can't do that with people who don't have the same mentality and thought process. That's all I'm saying. When we start talking like this, niggas want to be, oh no, I ain't doing that. Okay, well, shit. Good luck to your kids having kids out of wedlock and being baby mamas and shit. That shit ain't working. I'll make sure if I ever did have kids, my kids ain't marrying nothing but the best. We ain't doing the struggle stories, Tyler Perry movies. We ain't doing that Disney shit. We ain't doing none of that.
Hell no. He said Disney shit.
Yeah. It ain't no glass slipper over here.
Would you say you got to put in the work?
I ain't even saying the motherfucker got to go Ivy League. He just got to have good principles, good morals, good family values. That's it. He can go to trade school. Hell, he can work at McDonald's and be the manager. Well, I give it that. As long as he got a wealth mindset, he got a growth mindset, a legacy mindset, that means he gonna put his family in the best possible position. And not only that, He trying to grow. We ain't looking for perfection. We looking for people who want to grow.
You look
Who
for
want to do,
consistency.
who want to do something, bigger than themselves. Because that's what this is. This really is personal sacrifice. It's not to say that, you give up, luxury living, because that's what a lot of these damn people want. They want to live like movie stars and celebrities. They don't want to, do the hard work, starve yourself a little bit from, certain pleasures and then reap the benefits later. You can reap the benefits while you're building, but you never forget the main goal, building. You're building to get to a point where, okay, my kids will absolutely not have to do what I have to do. They're going to work hard, but guess what? We teach them good principles, good knowledge, to where when they get ready to get married and have their families, they implement the same system because it's tried and true, baby. And not only that, we drill their ass with documentaries showing them different examples of why you do this and why this shit works. Or you end up like people like this. And hey, you can look at it as like, that's judgmental. I don't give a damn. I've been through that. And I sure as hell don't want my progenitors to come after me to live like that. If you ain't doing the shit to make the kids better, to make the youth better, then why are you doing it at all? No, it don't make sense. Old methods don't work. I'm just saying. People don't like that reality, man. When you got standards, people always got a problem with something. When you got standards and want to do better or get better, higher standards, people always got a problem. Then you a uppity nigga, you a Uncle Tom, and all this other shit. You can't. Oh, you like the white people, and I'm just like, bruh, why? It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's got something to do with better mentality,
Right.
getting rid of nigga mindset. Nigga culture is not productive. It's not beneficial at all. It does nothing for us. But if we want to estate plan, we want to have a legacy. Build some dynasties and empires amongst our families, our communities. Then that requires a certain mindset. And fuck everybody who don't want to believe in it. That's how I'm going with it. I don't give a damn what a nigga got to say about me and mine and what I'm doing. I'll tell you what, your kids will be working for mine. Guaranteed. And these are the same people that's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be hating, but stay screaming Black Power. Crazy. That's some crazy shit, boy. I ain't gonna never get over that. I ain't gonna never get over that. Oh, y'all some uppity niggas. Oh, okay. We uppity because we want to do better. All right. Per Sturpies, baby.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
The whole branch getting paid.
Whole branch.
Or branches, I should say.
Again, we are talking about estate planning. So you all don't wait till the last minute. Don't let this be a taboo conversation. It has to be serious, especially as you accumulate assets.
Please
You know,
don't let this don't let this slip past, slide through too easy, man. Take this very serious. Uh, I hate people putting up GoFundmes. I get it, but we gotta start doing better than that. Because most time, people they actually be having some assets. Your car, your couches,
Mhm.
your pictures, your paintings, all of that asset. No matter how you want to look at it, it's an asset. It has value.
Yes, it
And
does.
yeah, and it needs to go to
My
somebody.
my sister-in-law transitioned. They went through probate, and my brother got 50%, and then Janice and I was under the age of 18, so they each got 25%.
Yeah.
So any money that was in the bank or refunds from the IRS or anything like that, you just had to show that paperwork.
Mhm.
And that's how you got it.
Yeah.
And the probate, like I said, you had to have original paperwork when you were trying to claim anything from the governmental agencies. And
Mhm.
as long as you had originals, so that's how I knew. We walk around with copies, this copies that all the time, but you really do got to make sure you have your originals on file and that the individuals, if you haven't identified someone yet to take control of your assets, that you're going to transfer your assets to, rather, you can have your paperwork placed at the courthouse so that when you make those changes, they'll be able to find it. Because a lot of times we have this stuff and we have nobody have access to our stuff. And so, I've accumulated a few things over the years, and then had some life changes. So I definitely need to go do mine. I think they do this stuff at the VA every Thursday. So I guess I'm gonna hightail my little butt on over there and get my paperwork straight.
Yeah.
Um, I always tell them you'll have some policies and you can have the assets, but that ain't no will be no money in that bank account if I can help it. but but yeah, then we have custodial accounts that I need to have those numbers documented and put places. um you be surprised what you may have even as an individual. Now I choose to pass my stuff on to my niece and nephew or have it as a family so that none of them will all that they will always have somewhere to go depending on their life situations. But I choose to do that. I don't have to, it's just my choice. Now if I was to get married, I left room for me to get another home on my VA benefits so that I don't have to fight for the one I already have. They don't have to fight about that. I'll
Right.
just get, I'll just get another one, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely need to put that paperwork intact because my house has I got it at 122,000 and it's worth 253,000 right now.
Mhm.
So got a little equity, got a little network going on. Um, and then I have all these crazy accounts. So yeah, I definitely need to go get myself squared away. We
See?
need to we need to repeat this for at least 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm just saying, man, it's just good to. It's just good to plan. It really just good. It's good to work on things that can benefit you. And we always say we love our families, and this is a good way to love them
Yeah.
by making sure you and them are taken care of if something happens.
Something went wrong. Please try
Yeah.
again.
So
And then the more you get in play, the more parties become a part of that scenario. Either you want to look. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. So, if let's well, let me go back to the screen. So I think Brandon had asked earlier. Well, you said it was the value of these, right? So
yeah, or if like you got
if
shares in the company or whatever.
right, let's say it's property, right? Let's say it's property, and let's say it's only one child. in his property, that child gets married, that child have kids. If the parent left that property to their child, then that child needs to do the proper paperwork to change that paperwork, right? When you inherit that property, you should update that paperwork, the deed and all that great stuff, right? Because if you don't, because this is what I see happening to a lot of heirs property, or a lot of people who where their great grandparents in the rural areas, they lose their properties after some point because it's been passed on generations, and there's no no one changed the paperwork over,
Right.
or updated the paperwork. So now, or they never went through probate, so that their name, can be on that deed. And so now you still have great grandparents' names on deeds of a property. You just live in the home, did upgrades through the years, this, that, or whatever. Now you're going, and your child just thinking, well, my grandmother left that to my granddad, to my dad, and my dad lived there until he transitioned, and then I'm coming in. And then now here comes the tax office or whomever stating that, hey, you don't own it.
Right.
And you see what happened to that property in Texas, where the woman, she had so many acres of land, and she had donated it to the community to build hold on, let me look it up. Playground or something, and the state sold it for $10 million to put a data center up.
I think I heard something.
Did you see that? She donated land for the community to build the was it recreation for community recreation, I think it was, in I think the state. So I want to say it's 10 million. Let me see. Yep, right here. Oh. She donated it. Let's see. It says nearly 3 decades after a Texas farmer donated 87 acres of land for community recreation, residents are protesting plans for the site instead of close some of this out. Instead of turned into a sprawling commercial data center development. Now, why all this stuff coming up? Anybody ask about this? All these stupid pop-ups. Hold up. This is crazy. So they said it did eminent domain. They said the dispute lane sits in Tyler, Texas, where longtime residents remember generations of children using the open field for sports, camping, and gatherings. According to archive deed records from 1999, local farmer Mr. Bland transferred the property for just $10 through a public trust arrangement. Residents confront massive data center proposal. Pamela Griffin, whose family lived beside the property for decades, recalled Bland telling her father, "I see the kids don't really have nowhere to play." She also remembered him adding, "I'm thinking about giving this land for parkland because these kids need somewhere to play." Public records later show the property passing through multiple nonprofit and municipal entities before eventually reaching the city of Tyler in 2003. 5 years later, city authorities transferred ownership to the Eric Economic Development Corporation for approximately $15,000. Damn. Substantially changing the property administrative direction afterwards. The controversy intensified in 2015 after the Tyler Economic Development Corporation sold the same property to developers, Blueprint, for $10 million. Ain't this a beat? Blueprint, and this is recent stuff. This is not even way back in the day. Blueprint intends to construct a 135,000 square feet data center beside residential neighborhoods, railroad infrastructure, and an existing electrical substation near Griffin's home. Griffin explained she only learned about the proposed facility after neighborhood organizers contacted residents while gathering opposition against the development plans in 2025. She said her family initially knew little about modern data centers before researching the facility and considering possible consequences for nearly residential communities. The residents subsequently raised concerns regarding electricity demands, industrial noise, and environmental stress. They are also worried about its potential effects on the local water systems surrounding the proposed development area. Correspondents from municipal authorities reportedly assure residents that several protective measures would reduce potential disruption associated with operating a future facility nearby. Officials discussed mitigation measures, including landscape barriers, enclosed water cooling systems, and a dedicated electrical substation. Some homeowners, nevertheless, fear proximity to industrial digital infrastructure could reduce surrounding property values. My biggest issue is this going back. So you're telling me this swept right up under somebody. Nonprofits being put in place, not really knowing what to do. And they swept this right under them. First, they sold it for 10K, 15,000. And then they took it. You know, that's somebody who knew what the heck they were doing. And that probably wasn't even a sale. That was just probably, let me get it off the records. Don't nobody know anyway. And they never acquired. They took that little 15K and pocket that. And these folks right here, which is probably somebody who worked for the city, sold that junk to Blueprint for $10 million. Ain't that something?
You said how much now?
10 million.
Yeah.
Land that was donated. 87 million acres. 87 acres of land donated to a nonprofit, and not the city profited or corporation profited, but you know that just didn't go to know anybody. No. That's crazy. That's how well we need to be paying attention to what's available, what's in our. So what do you think actually happened there? That maybe no family,
Maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, no family.
Yeah, or whatever family they did have probably moved away from Texas, didn't keep in touch.
Yeah.
Don't know who they are. 3 decades, that's what, 30 years? That's in my lifetime. I can imagine that being just looking to see how, certain family members move, not coming back, not paying attention. My grandma had land next to hers, and that whole time I thought it was her land. And she had maintained that land for so long that they had it marked down for her. But when they came out, I guess they was doing some realignment or whatever. And they came out, And they asked him, my grandma knew the best, so she said it wasn't hers, even though they had on the books. And guess what? One of those employees took over and put trailers on the land. I said, you mean to tell me? And I wasn't there. I was overseas. I found out about it like last year or so. And I said, y'all mean to tell me not none of y'all could step up and say, yeah, that's ours. My mama, my grandma land. Like, are y'all serious? I mean, it was a good acre. And we had maintained that junk all our lives. Yep. And I remember next door to one of my mama houses, their house had the next door they had burned. And so they had torn the house down, but they wouldn't come keep the property up. So when my mom would cut her grass, she would cut the grass next door. And so at one point the city was like, if they don't come back and you maintaining that, my mom was like, are y'all gonna reimburse me for maintaining this grass? And they was like, how long you been maintaining it? And so she told them, and it was like, well, if they don't come and start maintaining themselves, then we gonna transfer that paperwork over to you. Yep. So yeah. And I remember, well, veteran guy, he had went in a hospital, and the neighbor started cutting a portion of around his lake of his land, and he had been in the hospital for like 3 months. So they went and did paperwork on it, and they stole his land. And because he had been gone, he didn't know. So when he did get out of the hospital and come back home, he was trying to figure out where it was fencing up on his land. Well, they had to stole part of that. They say they maintained it for 90 days.
Damn.
Yep. Yep. So he was trying to get petitions and stuff.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
Yep.
Millie.
So let's talk about this again. I got to get this stuck in my head.
What's that?
Just the whole, estate planning, the bank accounts, the check-ins. Like you said, if you've been with somebody for so long, you need to have that conversation about accounts and this and that.
Yeah, it's important, man. I don't understand why people don't want to do this.
I think it's the fact that they're unaware of it. They're afraid of it. The same thing when it comes to trading. It's something they're not used to.
Yeah. And then you're talking about, sometimes when people have done things, they may have because when you start talking about assets, people think sometimes people think that you want what they have, or that's what you're there for, or you planning their debt, or so you got to kind of like wean that conversation in to get people comfortable.
Yeah.
But my mom, she beyond confident. That's something she talk about all the time since I've been coming up. She be like, "Where your paperwork at? You check your paperwork? Everybody know where your paperwork at?" I've been asking you this for years. Now you're 50 years old. You still ain't bring that paperwork down here.
Yeah.
That's my mama.
Yeah. That's energy.
She would go through every darn piece of important people she had when I come home. Every time I come,
yeah,
this is over here, and this is over here, and if this happened, this is over here, and this is over here. Yep, she do it every time.
Right.
So I have to get on the ball because it's not like I don't know. So I'm glad you talk about this often, because I know I can slap myself on my own hand. But I'm gonna have it right by this week, though. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna have it right.
What?
My paperwork.
Oh, I know you are.
I got little people in my house now. I ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
A
lot of people got that.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be. I don't want to be having these lives, and I'm not doing the right thing to take care of my stuff.
I'm just like, man, somebody need to.
Yeah, I want to make sure I want to be successful.
Shoot, start asking your parents and grandparents, do they got a will? And shit like that. You
Yeah,
know, and
my
be with them.
my grandmother didn't have one,
Yeah.
but she had a home and some property, so they did the like I told you they did the names, everybody name,
Yeah.
um, but I don't know how well that's going to go off years and years from now. Be honest with you, and I already told them I'm not fighting nobody.
How many siblings does she
Huh?
have?
A lot.
What about kids?
No siblings. Oh, it's only one left. But
What about kids though?
kids, shit, too damn many left. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 left.
Yeah, they all got split it.
I'm not doing that. They already have it split it, but I'm not. I'm not about to be. I'm not doing it. It's them boys that's gonna. She got a couple of them boys that's. They're the ones that everybody trying to look out for. But shit, they fight like cats and dogs.
Yeah.
They fight like cats and dogs. They act like they don't have no sense or whatnot. I'm not about. I'm not gonna be that person. I already told them I don't like that kind of stress, so I'm good. My mama has 2 properties. If I want to go back home, we have to. We have 2 homes, 2 properties. If that's what I needed to do, but I don't need to do that because my brother could have one of those or that when he goes back or leave it for his kids because I don't have any kids. And if I like I said, if I get married, then I'm just gonna purchase another home. We could purchase another home. I have money left for my VA, so and I'll leave this for my niece and nephew though. And then my brother can have what's in Louisiana, or he can leave it to his kids that's in Louisiana.
Yeah. I feel that.
But it's a lot to think about though, because I got godchild that's in this mix somewhere.
Mhm.
I'll leave her on a policy or something. I figured out. That's another thing. You have insurance. Man, when this stuff start, I'll never forget. When this stuff started accumulating, I was like, damn, now I gotta think about who I gotta leave this stuff to.
Mhm.
Let me ask you though, but if let's say with your home, can you leave with your home value, can you write in there where the only way they can take equity out is to rehab the home?
Write whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay. Because I want some, I would like for this to stay around for the ones, just in case they need some place to stay. And if they rehab the home, um, then it will always be, up to par.
Yeah. And it ensures that they take care of it though.
Right. That's what I've been trying to figure out. How can I make sure that the homes stay up to par? Is there something you can leave where you can take out so much equity over time and to rehab the home, or how does that's the part that I'm concerned about because and then it would always be livable. Otherwise, it'll be like some of these people let their houses go down in the dirt.
Yeah, I get that. That's
Okay.
I mean that's forward thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all we asking. Be forward thinkers.
Yeah.
So
Because sometimes you can look at your who you have coming behind you, you can be like, oh Lord, they're gonna sell my shit. Take the money, spend it
yeah,
on, and
Oh,
they go
100%. 100%. And I was just about to ask you, Mo. if you do create one, how do you weigh the checks and balances of who gets what? Do you
Well,
do it off the previous, reactions you have now with them, or do you
oh
wait until you get older and see how they evolve as a person? Because you can
no,
always update your will.
I have one. So if I have one policy where my mom is 100%, she's on what we call, she's number one, and then if she doesn't survive, then it goes to my godchild, and then I have one where my dad, and then my brother, and then that's life insurance, and I think I have three policy, and I think the third one I have my niece, my nephew, well all my nieces and nephew like 10% a piece, something like that. It's broken out evenly,
Okay.
and then so since then I have my house, and my house I said that I would leave it under my niece and nephews and then that, but like Chris mentioned earlier, I don't want where the significant or the wife or husband to be able to take it. So I want that to be where they'll always have somewhere to stay, them or their kids. Now, however that has to be done, then that's what I want. That's how I want it to go. And then vehicles or anything like that, I want my nephew to have. Um,
Zion.
yeah, he my only nephew. And then um investment accounts, I have to think about that because I haven't that's something new that I need to try to break out.
Yeah, see. That's what I'm saying, man. People got plenty of stuff to think about.
Yeah,
Really think about when it comes to this. You know what I'm
i'm,
saying?
I'm gonna do mine this week though, and like you said, Brandon, now down the line, I don't plan to change nothing. However, now let's say I get married, right? If I get married, then anything I have right now will remain, and then I'm gonna just start new stuff. I'd start a new insurance policy. I get a new home, you know, that kind of thing. So that way, whoever that person would have access, all rights to all the new things. I wouldn't do a prenup, even if I had millions. I wouldn't do it. I feel that
Why?
if because I feel like if I selected that person, then I've already vetted them. If I selected to marry him, I already vetted them enough that I think they'd be deserving of it.
Well, and this is not me causing a rift in you guys' relationship, but what if you happen to see like a change out of nowhere, and like it's not like a one time change, but like a significant change? Like, why is he acting like that?
I,
What's up there?
I'd start making I'd start making provision for some of the assets to be.
Hell no, she said provision. That shit quick.
I'd make some provisions. Because it would just only be any monetary value. So I think that I do think that once it's done, it's done. And that's why
Mm.
I say anything pre, I would have already had set up for whoever I wanted it. But anything after that, to be honest with you, I'm not even stuck. If someone changes after the fact, I just hope that if I have enough that I'm accumulating along the way, whoever I'm wishing to bless, that I'm doing it along the way. Once I'm gone, if I married somebody and it would just so happen to be a knucklehead, then let the chips lie with me. I'm not going to stress in my current life about what could happen when I'm gone. I just want to be able to break out what I have along the way so that they don't have to abuse everything, but everything was already divvied out.
Yeah,
But I guess that's where a wheel would come into play, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
can always revamp the wheel. So I leave them. Now I remember someone my mama used to work for. She had gotten an accident, so she had millions, right? And she had did the Serpies thing, and all her kids, her grandkids, all of them had paid. But her husband at the time, who stuck by her side, she left him only 10K And when I tell you she had an abundance, her house, she had businesses, all of that went to her kids. They ended up kicking him out. She didn't leave him hardly anything. I felt so bad for him. When I tell you he's still by her side, he's still by her side. I thought that was so unfair. Man, I thought that was so unfair. So I was like, I always thought about that, and I was like, I wouldn't do that to nobody.
Damn.
Yep, she didn't leave him hardly anything. Yep, and her knucklehead kids, they did exactly what she thought they was gonna do. That's why she made them sell everything. She would have did better giving it to him, and he continued to run it like he was doing before.
That's
But she she felt the way she felt, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and they were married. So,
they was married what for a long time, probably.
and if she had not did the Serp, well, I think she even went further from the Serpies thing. So they got a check up front, but then they got their money over time. She didn't let them get a lump sum. She let them get it monthly. She knew her kids probably was not going to do right by the funds.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah. So she had them getting, even the grandbaby, she had them getting monthly checks. Yep. And I suspect it lasted over a certain amount of years, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And she had them, and it was a pretty good bit. You know, like I said, she got hit by 18 wheeler, so she had millions.
Oh shit.
Yep. But she had, when I tell you she had that thing down to a science, she had it down to a science.
Yeah.
Except for she didn't leave that man hardly anything.
Less than $10,000. That's it.
That's it. They were married.
Well, she cold.
And he stayed with her too. Paralyzed and everything. Yep. So I always think about that, but I'm not on the whole. Like I said, I would already have this stuff written out, already it's drawn out. If my boo turned out to be crazy, then guess what? Oh well, shit.
You can always change it.
Yeah. But if I'm gone and it happens, then oh well. I mean, you can only do so much. I remember one of my uncles, this knucklehead, he changed his insurance policy. He with this lady. He ended up being with this lady. Make a long story short, he ended up transitioning, but he changed his policy and then he forgot to change the thing back when him and the lady was no longer together. So guess who had the policy and guess who refused to give up any money for the funeral? She didn't pay a thing. They couldn't even get it. They couldn't even find her, get in touch with her. The company he worked for paid for it.
I'd have jumped her ass.
Yeah. How you was gonna jump her? You couldn't get in touch with her.
That's fine. No, I'd have threw some money out, find her, and once I find her,
You'd have beat her.
hit her ass over the head with a bat. Just whap.
Yeah, that was crazy. So you'll be surprised when you think somebody gonna do right, they do the opposite shit. She took that policy and rolled out. That was the funniest thing ever. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
That's cold.
So I asked my dad, I was like, hey, who on your insurance policy? He's like, you are. I said, okay, because if you put some woman on there, hey, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be, I'm gonna donate you to the state.
Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
What? You think I would? Shit.
Straight to the state.
Go ahead and let somebody stupid be on your beneficiary policy and they don't want to pay and see where you going.
You're cooked.
Whew. All right, y'all. Let's revisit whenever y'all free.
All right.
That's cool. All right.
This was good, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, thank you.
Yeah.
Show, man.
I'm gonna start the show. If you send me that video, I can upload it. Oh, look, I'm gonna see when I see the password. Upload it in the intro section. I'm gonna play that video every time I go live.
What intro section?
So right here on the right side, you have where it says media assets.
Oh, StreamYard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can upload it as a video, and I could click it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Like you can have it. I'll let that junk play before and after because people just need to know. Like they're gonna know this by heart.
Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah. I
it.
tried to find some of the other videos I was gonna throw in there and let it play out.
Yeah.
So
Got a whole bunch of stuff in there. So.
all right, y'all.
All right. All right.
Peace.
All right.
All right.
Peace, everybody.